Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in the series. A very interesting game coming in from Yo I Am Hui versus Wei Spiders Fly in game 1 on Neo Planet S. If you guys haven't taken a look at that, definitely do so. I gotta already say this, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you guys haven't, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribers help, leave comments, don't forget to thumbs up videos, as all those small things do translate into me being rated higher if other players and other viewers are looking for StarCraft 2 content. Now, Fly is spawning as the red Zerg over here on the top left. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right, we have Yo I Am Hui. Now, in game 1, it really felt like Hui missed with a lot of his attacks. He wasn't able to execute well, and he made a lot of minor mistakes, so to speak. But when push came to shove, and he needed to make big plays happen and make those plays happen when it counted, he came up big. He was able to snipe down a hatchery. It was the hatchery that was actually at a tier 2 layer, so it forced Fly to do a little bit of long distance mining, and on top of that, on top of the long distance mining, it forced Fly to rebuild a lot of his key tech. That was a strategy that I haven't seen quite that often as of late, as we now see a 14 or 15 spawning pool coming in from Fly. Over here on the bottom right, we see Hui is going for that Forge Fast expansion once more, and this is a double probe scout. He is scouting with the intention of trying to use that photon cannon rush strategy. It does not look like it will be successful, as we now see that the probe is making its way in. It's going to take a look, spot the spawning pool, and Fly had already handled the initial photon cannon rush fairly easily. You can see that there is a pylon here, and there is actually a lot of space in the backfield. This is not the best position for this. So far, there's going to be another pylon there, and are we going to perhaps see a third? One photon cannon, perhaps even two photon cannons could come into play, and the timing on this is going to be very scary. They're forcing another pylon here, and there is one photon cannon. There is going to be 3 photon cannons in total, and this pylon is now done. Is this pylon going to get canceled? Most likely, as a new probe does come in here, and it looks as though the Zerglings are not going to be able to break through it. Another photon cannon being built right in the front, and that is absolutely risky and scary, as the drone should be able to get a surround on it. There is a lone photon cannon here, but very minimal surface area is exposed. Hui getting that photon cannon down. The Zerglings are going to be falling rather quickly. A second photon cannon is in play. Zerglings now backing off. Overlord needs to run, and this hatchery should get canceled here in just a moment. There it goes, as Hui doesn't cancel the... Oh, wow. Canceling at the last possible second there. And that would have been a whole bunch of lost resources. But what does it really give either player? Hui now sitting on a 20 to 15 or 20 to 17 worker advantage. But he does not have his second base up either. He does have a little bit of a tech advantage in that he does have a forge and a gateway. As long as he can get a cybernetics core here, he should be fine. Let's take a look at what the next follow-up play will be. Oh, it is a pylon wall, interestingly enough, as he is now making his rounds about. He could easily have transitioned into a 4-gate, I think, reinforced at his natural, or at his opponent's natural, and simply just walked in and taken out his opponents. You can see the hatcheries here are very exposed, so no one would expect him to attack the main base. A very heavy emphasis on drones right now, on minerals instead of gas. Fly trying to catch back up, but Hui really put Fly in a dangerous corner, and things are not looking good for him at all. Scouting probe is going to scout both bases here in just a second. He scouts out the additional hatchery, and he's just going to try and make his way back in. Oh, the drone! Did the drone get the kill? Yes, the drone got the kill. Poor Zerglings working so hard to get kills, only to see a drone get that last kill steal right there. Now, we are going to be seeing an additional simulator placed down by Hui. It is going to be all 3 gas play, And this is already showing to be a very interesting game. Harvester count is even, but the drone saturation is going to be better for Fly if he can get there. Now we can see an Overlord actually flying straight into a group of photon cannons. Not a smart move whatsoever, as we now see more Zealots being added to this group. We haven't seen the all-important third building though. We see the gateway, we see the cybernetics core, but nothing to follow this up. The next building will dictate what Hui is trying to do. If he throws down additional gateway, he's going to be aggressive with gateway units. If he goes for a Stargate, he's going to be playing a much more harassment role. If he goes for a mortal or for a robotics facility, he should go for immortals, observers, and then throw additional gateways behind it. We can see that there is a mothership core right here. It does spot the Overlord, but that mothership core can't do anything about it, as we now see Zealots already making their way out. All right, 4 gateways will be in total. You can see the metabolic boost now coming into play. We are going to be running up on 3 bases here in just a moment against 2, with the Roach Warren now nearing completion. The Roach Warren and Roaches in general, very, very strong in the early portion of the game. Very beefy units, especially when you consider that they only take 1 larva each. 1 larva for a Roach versus 1 larva for 2 Zerglings. Give me the Roach any day, as the Zealots going after drones. Oh, this could be very, very bad move here. 1 drone down, 2, 3 drones already lost. The drones now surrounding the Zealot. The Queen doing a little bit of tap, 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 tap to try and take down that Zealot. The Zealot is low on hit points, but there is that reinforcement that I was talking about earlier. The Zealots are just able to walk up and attack all 3 bases at nearly the same time, and Fly doesn't have enough of a creep highway to really connect this all. Drones now coming off the mineral line, trying to win this war, as we now see more Stalkers coming in for this engagement. All right, the Roaches trying to get away. The 3rd base now getting a bit pressured here, and this is a little bit of a split tactic. All Hui needs to do is, if he sees a lot of units spawning in one location, is back up to where these photon cannons are, and he is going to be in a beautiful situation. This beautiful 4-gate pressure, now transitioning into 6-gate pressure, should take down many of these units. Stalkers now trying to get away. Are we perhaps going to see a time warp to save the units? The Zerglings cannot afford to chase, as you now see Zealots once again inside the main base. So Hui really taking advantage of the fact that Fly is all over the place on this map. And normally whoever is forced to flee loses more units, but right now Fly cannot afford to chase these units. If he chases, he leaves his main base completely exposed, and with the double photon cannons here, it is going to be very, very difficult for him to take it out. Let's take a look here. Zerglings and Roaches now making their way over. Mothership Core is in position and to perhaps lay down a time warp and slow up the Zerglings a bit longer. Hui is investing everything into this attack, and I believe it will be fruitful here, as the Zerglings are now trying to back off. Zealots, sentries, stalkers. Oh, 1 poor sentry may get taken down, but that's all going to be a very minimal loss here, as a 2nd sentry will get taken down. You can see Fly actually getting a good surround here. And is this surround going to make much of a difference? The Mothership Core should have perhaps tried to recall. This was not a good fight for Fly to Hui to be in, as the Roaches are now just going to continue to chase. However, a new round of 6 or 7 gateway units do arrive, and here we go. There is the bit of the split because of that time warp. What is going to happen next? Zealots now walking inside the main base. They should be able to take down a couple more drones. There is a Queen off over here. Roaches now trying to make their way in, as there is once again another time warp. The Mothership Core getting in. Easy kills. There's a force field on the ramp, and I do gotta believe that is GG. The Stalkers with Blink should be able to peel themselves back and really, really lengthen their life, lengthen their DPS. What's going to be happening next? Another time warp could be thrown down, and once there is a little bit more energy, but the sheer numbers of Hui does look like Hui will get a 2-0 victory over Fly here in Game 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this series between Yo Iron Man's Hui versus Wei Yi's Spider Fly here on Whirlwind.